Our kids between 13 and 18 years old are becoming more and more depressed. Now, what is the real cause and what can we do as parents? I'm also willing to share how I naturally overcame my depression and burnout, mental, emotionally, from the root to every symptom. If you want to know the journey, click here or in the description below. Right now, 48.9% of kids, the blue line, say they cannot enjoy their lives. 44.2%, the green line, say their life has no meaning whatsoever. And 49.5% of kids, the red line, feel like they cannot do anything right. And only over the last few years, this depression has reached a record level. With almost 50% of kids, 1 in 2 feeling this way. Now that the numbers behind this growing problem are clear, how can we help as parents? I don't want to suggest a superficial solution, and that is why I want to reveal the real root cause, so we can help tackle all the symptoms of depression from root cause to each individual symptom, and that together as parents. Depression literally means pressing down or feeling depressed or oppressed. It means that their feelings are being suppressed and flattened. But how are our feelings being suppressed and flattened? I want to highlight this from 2 perspectives. 1, suppression on the emotional level, and 2, suppression on the physical level. Number 1, emotional suppression. How do you think kids are actually suppressing their emotions these days? In other words, how are our kids distracting themselves from emotions they do not want to feel? What's the biggest distraction that takes up most of their day? That's right, their phone. What exactly happens in the body when our kids distract themselves so often with their phones? When they get a like, a comment, or a notification on social media, dopamine is released, one of the feel-good hormones our bodies produce when we achieve a certain goal. Getting a like or reaching a streak also releases serotonin, which also plays a role in feeling well and satisfied. Playing games releases endorphins, another happiness hormone that reduces pain when you overcome certain digital obstacles. Receiving a like also releases oxytocin, often called the cuddle hormone, which is released when you experience support or appreciation, contributing to a sense of connection. Now you might say, isn't it great that our kids are triggering all these feel-good hormones through their phones? The problem is that this release of happiness hormones happens so quickly with each new like and beep that not only does their attention span get shorter and shorter, making them less willing to put in effort for the next hit, but also that their production of happiness hormones is literally getting flattened. Through their phones, their sense of happiness is being numbed. They barely have motivation to do anything other than to wait for the next beep on their screen. And they are no longer motivated to put in effort to achieve something or to really connect with someone in real life. This numbing of happiness hormones or suppression of emotion by replacing normal intended triggers for happiness hormone production through real interactions or achieving goals with superficial, ever faster digital stimuli is the real reason around 50% of our kids cannot enjoy life, feel like life has no meaning, or think they cannot do anything right. And simply because they can no longer feel those things. 2. Physical suppression. Physical suppression also plays a role in the depression of our young people. Our bodies can't keep up with the production of the happiness hormones, which throws the whole process out of balance. Now, the problem with hormones is that when one hormone, like for example the stress hormone cortisol, due to ongoing stress, for example, gets out of balance, all our other hormones, including our happiness hormones, get even more out of balance. Now, the good news is that we as parents can help break this cycle. And the most important step, of course, is to set a good example ourselves. To be a parent instead of a pleasing friend. Number 1, limit your kids' screen time and replace it with real contact and real activities. Our kids' brains aren't developed enough yet to make the connection between cause and effect, by themselves. So it is actually our job as parents to help them, even if it means dealing with their resistance, their boredom, their difficult reactions. When we literally help them kick this depression creating addiction. In our family, for example, we have a rule that when the kids get home from school, all our phones go on the shared charger. And we connect by playing a board game, having a drink together at the table and talking about our day or something, to be able to make those happiness hormone triggers through real contact possible again. 2, also very important, help create a lifestyle where the body and hormones can naturally and healthily rebalance themselves. By tackling this depression epidemic from the root, both mentally and physically, we can give our kids back the deep, genuine happiness and real life they were actually born for. It is our moral obligation to help our children with this. It is our moral obligation not to take the easy way out by letting them quietly sit behind a screen while we do our own thing. It is our job to stand up as parents and make decisions for them where their brains aren't yet developed enough, and to create a very clear and safe framework, even if and especially if it means dealing with their resistance and withdrawal reactions. For example, I said if you do not want to charge your phone for 2 hours after school and join the real contact, then I will take the phone away for an entire week. And by truly following up once, that pattern was broken easily. That way, the fear of losing the phone for a week can help reverse the addiction. You can see how I myself, after dealing with depression and burnout, brought my physical body and hormones back into balance by watching the video linked here or in the description below. If this information resonates with you, please share with as many people as possible.